According to an article published by the Eastern Eye on May 17 of 2019, they tell the story of Natsa Katan, who's a 35-year-old woman who experienced an eating disorder from her early teens all the way up to her adult life. She suffered with bulimia and anorexia nervosa, and she herself shared that younger individuals can be greatly affected because of the social media influence. Due to the celebrity-oriented influences and hyper-focus on an external appearance, social media seems to encourage disordered eating like anorexia nervosa, bulimia nervosa, and binge eating disorder. With this in mind, it seems that the problem is how perfectly edited photos through idolized models and celebrities can greatly affect not just adults, but adolescents as well, and to believing that in order to be accepted, one must meet the beauty standards that are set by social media, which eventually causes the development of eating disorders, and thus an immediate solution must be uncovered immediately. So the problem at hand are eating disorders, and according to scientific reports, in an article published on January 31st, 2023, they define eating disorders to be characterized by severe disturbances in people's eating or eating-related behavior, emotions, and weight-related thoughts, which includes the preoccupation with food, body weight, and shape. The typical age at onset is in early to late adolescence. However, the onset can occur virtually throughout the lifespan. Eating disorders can be classified as anorexia nervosa, bulimia nervosa, and binge eating disorder. And it's quite common in a lot of individuals. According to Advanced Titan, in an article published on March 3rd of 2022, they state that NEDA surveys estimate 20 million women and 10 million men in America will have an eating disorder at some point in their lives. This affects people of all different ages, sexual orientations, races, ethnicities, religions, body shapes, weights, and more. And so this particular preoccupation with one's own consumption of food, as well as body image and weight, seems to be very common in a lot of different people from all around. But to what extent is this issue big enough? How big is this issue? According to Buffalo Law Journal, in an article published on July 15 of 2019, they state that eating disorders are a real problem. People don't understand the illness. There's a big stigma about it, and the frontline providers don't always know what to look for. So it's quite clear that this issue is quite big, and it finds its way into a variety of different lives of different people. And so the cause of this particular issue is greatly influenced by social media. According to Cyber Psychology, in an article published on September 1st, 2021, they say that the negative image of one's body, in particular body dissatisfaction, is highly prevalent among young women. Various studies have shown that the use of and exposure to social media generate body image concerns, as well as the development of eating disorders. In this sense, eating disorders are etiologically related to the internalization of social pressure resulting from the standards of feminine beauty of modern industrial society or the Western culture. And according to International Journal of Eating Disorders, on May 1st of 2020, cross-sectional research has found that engagement with photo-based social media sites such as Instagram is associated with poor body image. Experimental findings have supported this relationship, whereby posting selfies on social media worsened women's body image, including perception of fatness, physical attraction, body size satisfaction, as body image is a key risk factor in the development and maintenance of eating disorders. So there's a big factor that plays in the development of eating disorders, and that is the influence of social media. When we open up our phones and see all these different images, especially displayed by celebrities, it kind of creates this social beauty standard. And for a lot of young women, and even young men, and people all over, it creates this false, inauthentic beauty standard that we think we have to meet in order to be considered good enough or pretty. And thus, when we figure out that we don't actually look like that, it creates this kind of shame and insecurity that we're not pretty or handsome or good enough to, I guess, achieve or receive love or any good thing from life. And so with this particular shame that's developed, it does lead to the development of eating disorders. And so how can we better solve this particular issue? According to Italian Journal of Pediatrics, in an article published on July 30th of 2022, they state that at the same time, due to the more open and public configuration of this application and the changed approach of new generation of users who tend to share more openly and are more committed to raising awareness about and normalizing mental health issues, TikTok has simultaneously proved to be a thriving opportunity to create an easily accessible digital space for the positive content of such hashtag communities as pro ED recovery, raising awareness ED, and others. Clustering under the same hashtag, the users of these communities share their experiences and provide advice and support to one another by sharing the recovery process, struggles, and personal stories. And according to the International Journal of Eating Disorders, published in an article of April 1st of 2021, they stated that creators mentioned that 21.3% often share different aspects of recovery to encourage a better understanding of recovery and eating disorders, which are reflected by four-step themes like recovery victories, reality of recovery, education, and sharing positivity. So flipping the switch and kind of changing social media to be a platform of a much more positive place where we can share stories about one's own eating disorder, as well as bringing awareness to this particular problem, can definitely solve in diminishing the development of eating disorder. If we change the ideal beauty standard and bring more awareness to what actually defines beauty, it can definitely diminish these large numbers of people developing eating disorders. So we have come to the understanding that the problem of eating disorders are caused by a societal beauty standard that is often conveyed through photo-based platforms such as Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. However, if we come together and spread awareness through people sharing their own stories of struggling with eating disorders, we can make social media a much more positive place where societal beauty standards cease to exist.